Accept. Awesome. Okay, welcome. This is your Monday night Crossline Western Leader Training. Okay, so I want to first off send the biggest thank you to all of you for jumping on here on the time change that we did have today. Super grateful. I am a coach for my daughter's hockey team, and we had a pop-up hockey practice happen today right at the time that the call was supposed to happen. And if you know me, there's one thing I love more than money, and that is freaking hockey. Okay, I'm gonna be super honest with you. Hockey is like my lifeblood. I absolutely love it. If you notice, I am someone who I like energy. So I'm on my knees here right now for you guys, and I gotta be up and I gotta be moving and grooving. So if you gotta get moving and grooving too, it's okay. I like to go along with the saying, let your freak flag fly. Okay, do what you got to do to be the best and the most amazing you. Don't give two shits about what anyone's going to think as you're getting into that vibration that is going to level you up. Okay, so my training today, the title of this training is you're either going to change or stay the same. Okay, and I got a spoiler alert. There's actually no such thing as staying the same. Okay, you actually have the power to decide how you're going to change. Okay, and I'm going to assume if you're sitting here at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on a Zoom call, you're looking to go up, you're looking for growth, you're looking for something that is going to maybe be that golden ticket, that shiny key that you need to insert into your business and turn it and be like, holy shit, it's on fire, let's freaking go. Right? So let's look at this here. I put this together because I didn't want my personal team to come on this call and hear something that they've heard me talk about 5,000 times. Okay. So everyone here is getting an absolute brand spanking new training. We're just going to give it 1 second here because I got to yell at my daughter to get off of the Wi-Fi. So give me a hot minute here. Crisis averted, guys. She is getting off of the Wi-Fi. Here. All right. So I want you to understand, and I want you guys to all go and give me a 1 in the comments when you understand that growth never happens by mistake. Growth is always intentional. Okay. Just let's clear this in the air right now. People understand. We understand that, right? Growth is always intentional. So if you think you're going to just like wish it into happening, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. It has to be intentional. And I like to go through and I like to look at things and understand that a lot of people don't like, you'll always say, this is cliche, but there is so much truth in cliches. Okay, things are cliche because they get said all the time and they kind of feel like they're overused, oversaid. But I think we can actually find a lot of information and a lot of knowledge in cliche things. So I'm gonna read to you some cliche things that you may have heard. Okay, who's heard the term "look good, play good"? Right, look good, play good. Right. That's why, you know, when we watch all those pro athletes walk into the stadiums and they're just looking freaking good, and we're just like, hello, we're here for that on the Instagram story feed of whatever team you like, right? That's the look good, play good right there. Okay, there's a mindset, there's a shift that happens when you get in the mode, right? Rule your day or let it rule you. Who's heard that one before? It's kind of cliche, but you've heard it before. Okay, another one is strategy eats talent for breakfast. Okay, this is a good one, and this isn't really cliche. This is a quote from Aristotle. Through self-discipline comes freedom. That's from Aristotle. Okay, and one that you've heard probably a million times. Don't be busy, be productive. Okay, so we can all agree we've heard those things before, right? We've all heard them before, and we're like, yeah, that's cool, fun. We'll maybe throw those up on like a Instagram story pic or something so we look like we're moving in the right direction for growth, right? We're gonna try to fake it till we make it. And I'm sorry, growth is something you cannot fake. Okay. So this entire call you guys here is going to be about intention. Okay. So a little bit about myself so that you can understand where I'm coming from and why this isn't just like some crapshoot that, someone who, has done a lot of money. I've been with money since August 1st of 2015. Okay. I joined on the very first day you could join in Canada. I hit the rank of market mentor in 3 months. I hit the rank of managing market mentor in 4 months. 10 months later, I became a associate executive director. 10 months after that, I became an executive director. Okay. I'm a Cadillac earner. I'm a legacy founder. I am an emerging founder. I was trying to count them up today and I don't know. I stopped counting at 32 earned trips. Okay. With the company. All right. So I'm only sharing this with you guys so that if you were doubting, maybe you've never heard of me before, because I'm going to also tell you, like, I'm not an influencer. I don't have a massive following. I'm really hoping to hit 2,000 followers at some point this year, right? I'm not an out there person on the social media. I'm trying my freaking best to do it because that's how we grow, right? But that's you might not know who I am, and I want to share with you that part because I have some things that aren't very difficult, but they're going to help you a lot. So I am a solo mom. I call myself a solo mom because my daughter's father left when I was 4 months pregnant and we never saw him again. Okay. So I have my daughter 24/7. I've never gotten a penny of child support. I don't get a weekend off here or there. I have done the entire parenting thing since 4 months pregnant, which will actually be next month on February 17th will be the day he left, and it'll be 10 years since the day he left on February 17th. And I'm telling you that because I wasn't someone, before my daughter, I went from being an NCAA Division I athlete playing hockey in the US and Minnesota. Then I dropped out of college and I stumbled for about a year, and then I started working in the oil field, and then that's when I got pregnant with my daughter right then when I was 23. Okay, so I was 23 years old and I got pregnant, and I wasn't married, and I had no intention of getting married, but I did not fully intend to be doing it all by myself. Right. Luckily, I do have an amazing family, and I don't want to take away from the fact that I have the best sister, the best mom, the best dad, everyone. But I also made a strong pact to myself, you guys, that my daughter was going to look at her aunt and her grandma and her grandpa as aunts, grandmas, and grandpas, and not other sets of parents. Right. That I really wanted that to be the case. So I got to freaking work. Right. As soon as that pregnancy test showed me that I was going to be a mom, I was like, hey, big girl panties on. There's someone growing in you that didn't choose this life, right? They got dealt this life. They had no say in who was going to be their mom, who was going to be their dad. They didn't get a choice in that. And it's my responsibility as her mother to give her the best damn life possible. So I went to work for that, you guys, and I didn't do it with money at the beginning. Okay. My daughter was 3 years old when I joined this business. And when I joined this business, I was finishing up a practicum. I was massaging during the day, and I was a night manager for a restaurant called Earl's here in the town that I live in. Okay. So I was getting about, 3, maybe 4 hours of sleep a night when I started this business. Okay. So how was I able in 3 months? Okay. You also have to remember this part here. When I joined Monate, we couldn't sell products. You could only sign people up with product packs. Okay. And so that was with no VIPs. That was purely with enrolling and sponsoring and helping my team grow and build with that. I was able to do that, you guys, not because I am not a good salesperson. I am an introvert. Okay.
Hi guys.
Okay, go. No, you're just do whatever you want.
How long do you have, Mom?
Just go.
How long is this?
I don't know. Just go. Sorry, guys. This is just the reality of my life. Okay. What was I saying? Thanks, Barry. Look at my notes here. But I'm not I'm an introvert. I'm like, if you like, I always tell you, if you're ever at an event together, right, is if you want to find me, I'm an eater, like a full-time eater. So I will not be in the middle of the dance floor. I will be at the buffet table. Okay. Finding all of the food, right? I like to just kind of hang over there, eat all of the hors d'oeuvres and all of the things. So I'm not necessarily the person that is going to be the most like drawing of people, right? I'm not the person that necessarily is the one you're going to come. I don't have a lot of emotions. I'm not the someone that people are going to come and like have a shoulder to cry on, because I get like Ricky Bobby when people start to cry around me. I don't know what to do with my hands, and I just don't know how to handle it, right? So like, how the heck did I do it? Okay, who here put a number 2 in the chat if you're busy. Okay. Put a 3 in the chat if you've let yourself being busy be an excuse. And be honest, because growth doesn't happen out of lies, right? You gotta be honest. Okay. I didn't have a lot of time, you guys, right? Did not have a lot of time. I was having to work my business legitimately on the toilet between massage clients. Okay, that's where it happened. I did not have a career that I could work my business while working, right? Can you imagine you went to your massage therapist and she was like, just 1 second, let me answer this text message. Someone wants to buy some shampoo, right? I couldn't do that. So I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I'm sitting here. I'm working all of this time. I literally do not have any more time. And guess what, you guys? I still could not make ends meet, right? As one income, well, I had 2 incomes coming into my home, but they weren't like paying the bills. I was still approximately there was like 4 too many days in the month. Okay. I needed the months to get shorter by 4 days. I was like, if they could shorten by 4 days, I think I'd be good. But that's not the case, right? Except for in February, maybe it would be good. February was fun, right? But I want to ask you guys all here, because if you haven't allowed yourself to really reflect on the moment that you're working to never, ever, ever have to feel again, right? We all have those pain points. Right. Everyone has a pain point. There's either something you're scared of or something you've been through. I want you to take a second and I want you to think about that, because I'm going to tell you mine. And I knew it was never going to happen again. And I'm having you walk through this because until you allow yourself to fully feel that fear or that moment again, you're not going to have the energy or the balls to run through a brick wall and stay consistent and stay on track and do all the things I'm going to tell you after that. Okay. Christmas of 2014. Okay. I didn't know money was going to come into my life literally like in that new year. Okay. I did not know that, but I had to go with my tail between my legs. You have to remember my daughter was at that point about 2.5. There's this guy in a red suit who comes, and this was like the first year that she really understood it. And there was nowhere for that to happen. Right? Like it wasn't going to be possible for me to do that on my own. So I had to go with my tail between my legs, and I had to go to my parents and I had to ask for some help. And that's not something I'm overly good at doing. But I remember sitting there in that holiday stretch and just being like, never again. I don't know what is going to happen. And I don't know how this isn't going to be the case next year, but it's not going to happen again. And I can tell you to this day, I am now fully retired into my business. I am about this far away from my MDC jacket. I have made over $1 million Canadian in commissions. I have been able to move into our forever home. I am a coach for my daughter's hockey team. I am a stay-at-home mom, giving my daughter the time a stay-at-home mom would, while bringing in an income that most dual income homes do not get to bring in. Okay. I'm telling you that because it's possible. And so I'm going to show you how you're going to plan your freaking day. Who here Put a 4 in the chat if you're like, I'm a hot mess express and I need to get some sort of system down. Right? Who here knows that there are nooks and crannies of your days that are empty, that are costing you thousands of dollars? Okay. So my very, very first tip for you is that people try to start planning their lives and they'll sit down, like tonight you would sit down and be like, okay, we're getting our shit together. We're doing this. Okay. Tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? And you're going to look and plan tomorrow. Okay. But then tomorrow's going to happen and you planned it last night. You're probably not even going to look at it tomorrow. You're just going to have like one fire happen and you completely threw the entire thing out the window. And you're like, ah, no, that's not going to work because this, and this. The reason that people fail at planning, I wholeheartely believe, is that they don't use the right process. So first things first, okay? When you have a goal, right? Let's say your goal is AED by December, which every single one of you should have that goal, okay? I'm telling you that right now. If it's not, I want you to ask yourself why it isn't that, okay? If it's because you don't want AED, that's cool. Like you don't have to change it. But if it's because you're doubting yourself, then let's fix that, okay? But you would take that goal and you would work backwards from it, right? It's the same thing with planning your life and your day, okay? So let's look at our month, right? This business isn't about locking yourself in a hole and just being on your phone like this. Like, I'm pretty sure every single one of you are humans and you have jobs, you have responsibilities, you have other activities that have to happen, right? Am I right here? Right? You guys have other things. I call those non-negotiables. Okay, in life. So when I started this, I started doing this about 5 days into my business because I was like, something has to give. I want this so freaking bad, right? So freaking bad. And I knew I wanted to hit MMB, right? I didn't know what that meant. I just knew I wanted to do it. And I was like, okay, let's go, let's do this, let's figure this out. But I need time. I need to find time in these places. So I took my month and I looked at my month and I was like, all right, this is when you have clients. This is when you have to work. This is when, you know, Perry has this. I put all of those things in there. Every single thing you put in your month calendar that has to happen. Okay. Do not leave out a single thing. Put it all in there. I'm going to show you guys here mine right now for this month because I'm still a crazy person about it 6.5 years later. Okay. This is mine for this month. You can't really see all of it, but you can see it's pretty full of like activities that are happening, right? Okay. So you're filling all of those things in. So you got your month done, right? And so I'm going to tell you, like, right in here, like I got so many things on here that most people wouldn't probably think to even put, right? Like I don't put with my daughter. So for example, on Wednesday night, my daughter has a hockey game at 7 p.m. in a different city. Okay. I'm not just putting that her hockey game is from 7 to 8 o'clock. I'm putting in how much time is going to be of driving, right? What is that actual time that it's going to take for that activity? Right? I got to drive there. I got to be in the dressing room with the girls. I got to be on the bench. Like, what is the time of this going to be? We got to get undressed. Then we got to get home. But so many people will just put hockey game 7 to 8 o'clock. Right? And then you wonder why you feel like you didn't get anything done in that day and you don't know where your day went because there was 4 hours that mysteriously you didn't account for that were actually there. So you need to look at those things right there. You need to understand that. So it's going to take a little bit more time at the beginning, right? Because you're going to be really thinking about this stuff. Okay. I put all of her school activities, like next week is color week. So there's a different color for every day of the week. I have that written in there so I don't forget these things. If it's not in here, I will forget it. Promise. Okay. So now I've got my month done. So now we're going to look at our week. Okay. So I take my week and I look at my week. I'm like, okay, we're sitting there Sunday night and I'm going to look at my week. Okay. So then I'm going to fill out here is how I plan out my week. If you're wanting to know what planner this is, it's the High Performance Planner by Brennan Bouchard. Okay. Plan out my week here. Okay. So I work it in, I go on, I'm like, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. What's happening here? What do we got? All the things that have to happen. Who do I need to show up for? All these different things in here. You don't need to buy this planner to do this, but just look at your week. Okay. Stop. Don't look at the whole month. Now you're taking a section of it and you're looking at your week and you're putting an intention to the week. Okay. I'm going to say that again. You are putting an intention to your week, right? On Sunday night, you're not just filling in your planner. You're not just putting the things in there. You're putting them in with intention. That these are promises that you are making, right? To your future self, to your future business, to the future people that join your business, to your future customers. These are not taken lightly. You will hear people say that your planner will get you paid. You can look at someone's planner over the course of a year, half a year, or a quarter, and you can probably tell which way their business is going, or based off of it. Okay. So now we've done our week. We've got all of that stuff now put in there. We now know our intention for the week. Okay. So a big part of this is like the week part is like looking more specifically at things. Okay. So I'll give you an example. Our team is having a big virtual event on Thursday this week. So a lot of my week as I'm looking at things is like planning out from that and being like, okay, like I want to have the email address for the giveaway done by this time. I want to have, this is where I get more specific in the week planning. Does that make sense to you guys? Where now I'm breaking up these other bigger tasks that I have that are sitting there, right? When I'm looking at, you know, figuring out, okay, this is when like you got a hockey game here, we got this here, I got a training here, I got this, that, I can break them up even more. Okay. I know that the little tasks that need to happen and when they need to happen, right? I don't want to be making an email address 15 minutes before the event's going to start. Right? I would like to have that kind of like done at least a day in advance, right? So I'll put that in the plan for the intention that that's going to happen on at least Wednesday. So now we're going to go look at here daily. Okay. So we're going to look at the daily one here. So then I work in, and this is where you guys are really going to want to make sure you write this down. Okay. I work my entire life in 15-minute quadrants. Okay. That is how I personally run my life. And it happened by mistake, but it was a blessing because 15-minute quadrants were all I really had when I first started this business. I didn't have a lump sum of an hour, right? I couldn't just sit and work my business for an hour. I mean, like I would take 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, right? So I just started working my entire life into that. And so I literally will tell you, like, right, it's like, it has in here at what 15-minute time I have to leave the house to get my daughter to the rink on time, right? Right down to 15 minutes there. Okay. So now I look at my month planner and my day as I'm doing my planning out my week, and now I'm going into day by day and I just insert those things. So I look at Monday, I look at Monday the 10th, for example, and I'll plug all the things from the calendar on the 10th into that day. All right. I know you guys, I'm getting somewhere with this, but I want to break this down to you guys so thoroughly so that there's no like, well, what would I do here? No, you're looking at your day and you're taking the day on the calendar then you're looking at your week and you're like, okay, but I said here on the week, I need to have this email done. So that's going to go in my top priorities here. I'm going to put that into this time. Now, where do you work this business in? Right? I'm sorry about my dog, you guys. Where do you work this business in? So I function with my business based off of what I call the 4 15-minute quadrants. Okay. So in the first little bit of my business, I spent a lot of time listening to people in this industry who had made $1 million and were making $1 million a year. Right. I really wanted to know what they were doing. No one in Mon8 had made $1 million yet. I think Tony Van Schoyks had just received a paycheck for 50,000. Okay. That was like where we were at as a Mon8 business. And so I wanted to hear people who, you know, like the Emily Vavras and stuff like that, who are making over $1 million a year. Like, what are they doing? So I listened to 10 different stories and I just started taking notes, and then I would put tallies next to things when someone would repeat that's what they did in their business. Right. And after that, I looked at the top 4 things that were tallied and I was like, hey, those must be pretty important. I think I'm going to make those my business non-negotiables. So I worked in 4 15-minute quadrants, you guys. I'm going to say this right now. Okay. So you can tell your people who are listening to this recording, like if you don't want to hear her ramble on about her story and all of the things like that, and you just want the system, it's going to be at about probably the 20-minute mark. Okay. 4 15-minute quadrants. These are your business non-negotiables. Okay. These are to be done even on your busiest day of your life. Okay. You have that. Everybody has 4 15-minute quadrants. Everyone does, right? You should be having at least 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. So you've got those made up right in there. Okay. Let's just be real with it, right? You have the time. I'm not asking you to go and commit to an 8-hour day. I'm asking you to commit to a freaking hour a day broken up into 4 15-minute quadrants. Okay. My internet is unstable. Okay. So what is the first 15-minute quadrant? Well, the first one needs to be the most important one. It needs to be the one that is going to set your intention for your day. Okay. What I'm going to ask you guys, if you're on my team, please do not answer this. Okay. Because you guys know what it is. What is the first quadrant? What would you say is probably the most important thing? Yes. Personal development. Good job, Kayla. Personal development, 15 minutes. You want the world to feel when your feet hit the ground, right? So before you even get out of bed, wake up 15 minutes earlier. If I can freaking do it, you can do it. Because I wasn't getting 8 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep. Wake up 15 minutes earlier, plug in some headphones. I started off, I was really, really broke, so I could not buy an Audible book. I could not buy a book from the bookstore. I started off with YouTube videos. TED Talks were my absolute favorite. It's actually where, so about 6 years ago, I fell in love with Simon Sinek, right? Saw his TED Talk, listened to that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. That's what I started filling my brain with every single morning. 15 minutes, non-negotiable. That's how I woke up. Do that for 7 days straight and tell me you're not a better freaking person all over. Not just in your business. You're going to function at a higher level in all aspects of your life. Okay. Really, really, really understand that. Okay. So now the second quadrant. So now you're sitting here, you're looking, it's the 10th. Okay. It's the 10th and you're looking at your planner and you're like, hey, I got to put that 15 minutes in. I got to be at work at this time. It's going to take me this long to get ready. I want to be intentional with my personal development. I want to be listening. So what time am I putting that 15 minutes in? Put it in, right? Put it in. And remember, that's a promise to yourself, your future business, your future team, your future customers, right? To your future self. You're not breaking that promise. So now the next quadrant, okay? So the first one is personal development. The second one is going to be one of the most important things that you're going to do in this business. And that is going to be reach outs and relationship building. Oh, I know, right? It's got to happen at some point, you guys. Okay. You didn't push accept and there was not a magical light that shot up out of your house and said, this person now sells money, come to them, right? You're going to have to get out there. You're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to build relationships and you're going to have to ask people if they want to come and take part with you. It's just how it goes. Okay. So we do our personal development first so that we're like bulletproof and ready, right? We put on our armor and we're ready to take it on. So now we're going to look at our day. We're looking at January 10th and we're like, okay, for those of you who work a full-time job, right? That's a big thing. Well, I work full-time. I worked 2 full-time jobs. So please never say that to me. Okay. Like I will just get an eye twitch, right? I understand busy is different for every single person and everybody has different like levels that they can handle. Okay. But if you're not willing to deposit into the sacrifice bank account, the success bank account's never going to open up for you. Okay. There has to be points that it's going to hurt, that it's not going to be comfortable, that it's going to be annoying, right? You might even resent it a couple times when you're having to really get scared and jump. Okay. So the next one, you're putting that in. You got to look, you guys, look at your day with intention. Look at your day clearly. right? I'm not going to plan to go and do my relationships and reach outs when I know I'm going to be driving somewhere, right? I'm not going to plan to go and do my relationships and reach outs when I'm not going to be fully there. I can give my business 15 minutes for this, right? So look, what is that? Relationship building is and reach outs, okay, are very important. And when you're building relationships, you need to track them as well. Okay. Don't just be like out there building relationships and not having a list of some sort, keeping track of, just because you haven't offered them the opportunity or they haven't asked you about the products or anything like that, doesn't mean they don't go on a list somewhere. Okay. So the next 15-minute quadrant here, number 3. So number 1 was personal development. Number 2 is relationships and reach outs. Number 3 is follow-ups. Okay. Follow-ups. Who here has heard the cliche, fortune is in the follow-up, right? It's because it's true. All right. It's very, very true. But I don't just follow up on people who have gotten samples. I don't just follow up on people who I've sent a cart to. I make a point of following up on relationships. Okay. So if you're wondering how I was able to do all of that and you're doubting yourself because maybe you have less than 2,000 followers on Instagram, because like Nicki Minaj says, it goes down in the DM. All right. Like she is the queen and we will do what she says. Right. But it does. And so I will keep track. So if I'm talking to, if I'm talking to Shannon told me that, her family, they're actually going to be going away to Hawaii for 7 days. I'm going to make note of that. And I'm going to make a plan for probably in like 9 or 10 days to follow up with her and ask her how her trip to Hawaii was. Right? Everything is intentional, you guys. Nothing is just it's not just out there just doing things, just putting out fires and stuff like that. Everything is intentional. There's a plan for it. So 15 minutes of following up. Okay. 15 minutes of following up and then working through it like that. Now the 4th 15-minute quadrant is done at nighttime. Okay. I actually do this before I go to bed. Just before I go to bed, this is what I do. I plan the next day. Right. So I go and I look at the day because I've already written it out, what my non-negotiables are in here, right? Like I already have like when my daughter's hockey is and all these different things and the things that come up in life. Who here lives a life and things just kind of come up and that's where your plans start to fail? Because all of a sudden, you have an appointment that pops up here or this happens here and someone dropped by and they stayed for an hour. So you had to push this other thing to the next day, right? Like life happens, right? So when I get everything put in here at the beginning of the week, and then at nighttime, I can look at it and be like, okay, what has changed? Okay. What do I need to adjust? If you notice, you probably couldn't tell, but I use this really expensive, fancy Bic mechanical pencil to write in my planner because it's in pencil, because it can change. Things can move. It is the night before that I plug in my 4 15-minute quadrants. Where are they happening? How is this happening? Okay. When am I doing my personal development? When am I doing my reach outs on my relationship building? When am I doing my follow-ups? What time am I planning the next day tomorrow? Okay. Now let's say you don't have a ton more time than that 1 hour, but you're starting to find extra bits and pieces of time in your day. Okay. Your 5th bonus quadrant is inviting. And I'm going to give you a tip. This is actually the highest paid skill in our industry. Okay. This skill right here is what will make you an MDC. I'm sorry about my dog, you guys. This is just how it goes. Hey, right? Is inviting. And that is inviting to 3-way calls, inviting to coffee dates, inviting to virtual events, inviting to in-person events, inviting someone to look at a third part, at like a video, at looking at something, inviting. If you have time and you've gone through all of the things, okay, you've gone through the personal development, your reach outs and your relationship building, your follow-ups, and you've planned the next day and you're like, I'm not tired, I still got time. Throw in 15 minutes of inviting. Okay, that is your final piece of the puzzle there. All right. So I challenge you all to take control of your life. I challenge you all to put so much intention into every single thing that you're doing that you never waver on why you're doing it. The moment you start to pour in your intention, you won't ever wonder why. You'll know why. You'll know where you're going. Okay. Any questions? I know I've kept you guys a little longer. I'm sorry about that, but I appreciate you all sticking around, and there will be a recording. If we have any questions or anything that wasn't overly maybe clear for you. Who did you start inviting when you didn't have social media following? My mom and sister. I'll be honest with you guys. I do have a YouTube video you can go and check out, and it's called Building a Quality Contact List. Okay. And it kind of walks you through how I did that. I honestly really wanted my mom and sister to join me. But you have to remember, no one knew what Monat was. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't like today where you could go log in somewhere and see a bunch of before and after pictures. So I didn't have a lot of intention. I was going to make my sister, she wouldn't have a choice really. I was like, no, you're going to do it. That's what's going to happen. My mom was a wild card, right? She was a wild card. I didn't know, I thought she'd be a customer, but then she was a sucker for a discount because she's Costco queen. And she said yes. But if you go into the YouTube video that I did, it really breaks down as to how I decided who I was going to talk to. I can tell you something here, and I know that I told you guys the success route, and I told you, oh, you have such little followers and and everything like that. And it looks like it was so easy for you. In my first 3 months, I've probably got told no more than all of you guys have in your careers combined. Just being honest. Right? Just being brutally honest. In 1 month, I got told no 87 times in a row. Okay. So it's not because everyone said yes to me. Okay. I only got 10 yeses in my first 3 months. Okay. So please understand that it wasn't that everyone was just saying yes, 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 yes. No, there was mostly no's. It was mostly no's. Okay. And it's not about who says no. And I want to leave you guys here with this because I don't want to take up any more of your time, and I want to respect that. But please, when you're going through this and you're getting rejected, it's not about who says no. It's about who says yes. Understand that and celebrate that. Every moment that you spend worrying about someone who said no to you, you're taking time away from the people who did say yes, or the people who are going to say yes. Right? So just keep moving forward on that, and really just understanding that, because I should have probably quit. That's why I always say be too stupid to quit. Most smart, sane people would have quit, because I did get told no a lot because I wasn't very good at it, you guys. I wasn't. I just failed and failed and failed and failed until I became good at it. So with that, you guys, I'm going to get this recording up. I appreciate you guys so much for your time tonight. And I appreciate for you trusting me. I appreciate you for trusting me with your time tonight. And I hope you guys absolutely go and absolutely kill 2022. And yes, but now MDC, let's go. Bye guys.